Good morning, Garden State. Welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. Today is Friday, November 11th. I'm Cara Falco.
And I'm Kristina Behr. On today's show, we'll tell you about the New Jersey State Police's holiday food drive.
We've also got the latest on the new buses coming to NJ Transit. But first, we bring in meteorologist Mike Favetta for a look at that weekend forecast. Hey, Mike.
Hey there. We've got some rain on the way for today, but not to worry. Doesn't last long. Sunshine comes out as soon as tomorrow. I would sleep in to enjoy the sunny weather because up until about 7 a.m. I think we'll see some rain and the clouds will quickly depart for tomorrow, leading to a beautiful weekend. But got to make it through the rain today, on and off showers. These are all the result of the remnant rains of Nicole, which slammed into the Florida coastline yesterday. Now we deal with the remnant rains and even some gusty winds throughout the afternoon. Wind gusts could be as high as 40 miles per hour. Temperatures will hold in the 60s, so it's not a terribly cold day, but there's still a chill to the air, especially with that raw feeling. Could get up to 70 over in Camden, 66 in Atlantic City, and 69 in Brick City. Going into tomorrow, there's a beautiful trend upcoming with sunshine. But you may not jive with those temperatures because it gets really chilly come Sunday into Monday. But it's good weather to, well, enjoy the winter apparel that's been kind of waiting on the sidelines. We've got those details coming up with a check of your weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Mike, thank you so much.
All right, let's head over to the traffic center with Don Smith taking a look at the roads and rails.
Yeah, thank you, Kristina, and thank you, Cara. Good morning to you. Good morning, Mike. Let's get you over to the maps here on this Veterans Day. We salute all our veterans, to those who have served and those who are serving now. So we thank you for your service. And as you can imagine, today being a federal and state holiday, it is extremely light across the board. But there are a couple of incidents here that we need to make you aware of. The first is going to be here on 34, and this just came in here about 10 minutes ago. Before we came to air, water main break on 34 north, just south of 79. So again, that's on 34 north getting into 79. All lanes are shut, so be careful there. Also, this investigation continues on eastbound Route 3. It's the service road as you go east of the Hackensack River Bridge this morning, getting out towards Harmon Cove. It's really the bigger part of that story is that there's no access to the eastern spur of the turnpike. As you can see here from our camera at Wood Avenue. Let me see if I can just expand this here slightly. We'll bring you in towards, again, here it is. So it's the exit only. That's the service road here, brings you down to the gas stations and so forth by the hotels as we make our way over the eastern spur of the turnpike for your travel south here this morning. So that is completely closed. It's been that way for about 3+ hours with an accident investigation. So that's why it's a little crowded, because folks don't, they just have to stay with eastbound 3 and take that all the way out towards the Lincoln Tunnel and reconnect with the spur there, the eastern spur at that point to make your way. But I don't believe, if I'm correct, I don't believe that there is the entrance to the southbound side, only to the north. Let's go to the maps. We'll show you the area in question here, and that's why this is going to be a little bit red here going east, because of the situation on the service road. So again, there's no access to getting onto the turnpike going southbound. So you have to kind of continue on here this morning. So again, the way I look at this is that it's really for our friends here in Secaucus this morning. So if you need to head south on the turnpike, just get on westbound 3 and reconnect here. Because if you're watching us in East Rutherford, Lyndhurst, Nutley, Clifton, you're just going to hit the entrance ramp here to the western spur to go south, more than likely anyway. So it's all going to take you in the same spot. We continue on now here this morning. We have a little bit of slow traffic west on Route 22 now. Looks like there may be a crash here out by Weequahic Park in Newark. So look for that. And as we widen up things here this morning, looks like the outbound Skyway is a little tied up getting out towards Raymond Boulevard. So you need to be aware of that this morning. But the rest of the state, 80, 78, Central, South Jersey, all going to be in the clear for now. Again, as Mike said, later on today, we're going to see some of that, some of the rain showers making their way in around lunchtime or so. So be careful there. Transit is on or close to schedule, and they are operating on a regular weekday schedule, not a holiday schedule, regular weekday schedule. That's what's happening here in a fairly quiet traffic center at 9:05. Cara, Kristina, send it back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Don.
All right, political leaders are reacting to the outcome of Tuesday's midterm elections. Control for Congress is coming down to a few key races in both the House and the Senate. Eyes will be on races like the upcoming Senate runoff in Georgia.
And former Democratic gubernatorial candidate John Wisniewski says moderate voters have once again been the deciding factor in this.
But there's a vast middle, and the vast middle is what usually governs elections nationally. And that vast middle has for a long time said a pox on both your houses. I'm tired about hearing about extreme positions, whether they be Democrat or Republican.
New Jersey flipped one House seat with Republican Tom Kean Jr. winning the 7th congressional district over incumbent Tom Malinowski. Crazy.
Yeah, definitely. That's been so close. And they literally said that 7th congressional district in the state was a thermometer, I guess, if you will, for the entire country.
Yep.
So
100%. So a lot of eyes were on that race for sure.
Definitely going to be something interesting to see.
Well, this is a crazy story. The FAA says a blue laser was pointed at a small business jet while it was landing at Teterboro Airport on Tuesday.
Yeah, so the crew reported the laser to officials while on the final approach from Minneapolis. While the plane was able to land without any issues, officials say blue lasers can pose a hazard to pilots. The FAA has received 31 total reports of laser incidents in New Jersey this year. A total of 5,900, just over, have been reported around the country. And I remember that being such a big issue just after 9/11.
Right.
Like all of a sudden it was like, where were these things kind of
It's like,
coming from?
Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why are you messing with
But
it?
you also wonder, like, is it being pointed at the plane or is it just like kids
the
playing
air,
in the yard, so it's in the
yeah.
air and you never quite know if it's kind of maliciously intended or just foolishness.
Right. But if it is maliciously intended, it's kind of scary.
Right. Oh,
you know?
100%.
But
100%. So the New Jersey State Police are holding a holiday food drive for domestic violence shelters around the state. Collection boxes are being set up at state police stations around New Jersey, as well as the NJ Forensic Science Technology Center in Hamilton and the Richard J. Hughes Justice Complex in Trenton.
Yeah, only non-perishable and canned food items will be accepted. The foods are being collected from now until November 25th. I love this.
Yeah. Just
Any
trying to make
little
it
bit.
easy. I was going to say, just to make it easy. And especially now, I still feel like, shelters really struggled during the pandemic. They got inundated and, they really need those donations.
And it's just the hunger issue in New Jersey in and of itself is, it has gotten worse. And so any little bit helps for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have been highlighting some of the different shows that you can watch with us here on New Jersey. And this week, we want to tell you about a new show coming up, Living Life Authentically, which is going to begin airing here on November 21st.
So cool. Here now to tell us more is the host, Natalie B. McKenzie. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Help stay on mute.
Oh, what did I say? No. What an intro.
Good morning. Good morning. And how are you ladies doing today?
How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for being with us.
Our pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Natalie, tell us about Living Life Authentically. What is the show about?
So Living Life Authentically with Natalie B. McKenzie is a lifestyle show that has been airing on Facebook for the last year and a half, I think. We went through the pandemic and hosted our daily show, which was then called Quarantine. And in February of 2021, we shifted over as things started opening up and we became Living Life Authentically with Natalie B. McKenzie live on Facebook on Mondays at 6 p.m. And we are just so delighted that we get a chance to have a new home and to join you over at On NJ.
Love it. What can viewers expect from your show when they're tuning in each week?
So we really focus on lifestyle, what's happening in New Jersey. We literally have moved on out of the state of New Jersey, and we've had guests, heads of states, gubernatorial candidates, governors, mayors, entrepreneurs, the mom next door. And so we really focus on lifestyle. We bring you relevant information. We talk about what's happening in our communities, and we're always focused on giving back and making a difference, especially helping women, children in need, and helping them access quality healthcare and education.
That's great.
That's incredible. That's the good stuff right there. So Natalie, you said you started this really during the pandemic. What inspired you to create the show?
Let's see. We were quarantined. We had no place to go and nothing to do. And if you recall, we were quarantined in New Jersey around about March 12th or 13th. And we had our annual women's event coming up called Women Honoring Women, scheduled for the final Sunday in March, which would have been March 31st in 2020. Well, we had no place to go, nothing to do, and had a girlfriend called me up and said, you have to stay relevant. You must keep us connected. And that was Wednesday. And Monday, we started going live. And 200 plus episodes later,
Wow.
we had quarantine or quarantini, depending on who the guest was and what time zone they were on. Every evening at 6 p.m., we went live Monday through Friday, and we talked with everyone from the neighbor next door to the doctors, heads of states in other countries, governors, mayors, just to help us stay connected, take some of the anxiety down, and to provide relevant information. You may recall they had the PPP information, so we got experts on. We had a little bit of everything, and we found that folks really relied on us to help to keep them connected with the outside world.
Fantastic. 200 shows later. I mean, that's quite a feat.
That's a feat right there. Absolutely.
That's awesome. How have you been able to grow the show from when it began?
Geez. So we have a great team. Our executive producer is Deidre and Tate, and we have a great marketing team with Marlon Messina and Brian Nichols Messina. But what we have that is most valuable, that we cherish so much, we have friends who have stayed with us when we started a small event with 20 people in my home, or we were in a spa in Englewood with 40 women. This is over 10 years ago. So we have an amazing group of women that have stayed with us locally in New Jersey. Then we have our friends in Turks and Caicos, in Jamaica, friends in Europe. Because of the platform we grew during the pandemic, we have friends in over 15 countries, and it's grown exponentially. So our local partners, our international friends who have supported us, we have managed to do this because of forums like this, and because we brought relevant information, and it was always news you want to hear. It's good news, it's uplifting, and we were always looking for things that we had in common versus things that set us apart.
Yeah, news you can use is always good.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Natalie, the show's actually just one part of what you do with the Whole Woman organization. What else are you involved with?
Well, really at our core, we're a nonprofit because everything we've gotten over the years, we've given away. So about 2 years ago, we started fighting atrocities against women worldwide, and we call it FAW. And that's our nonprofit arm, because everything we do is really party with a purpose. So we're hosting our annual fundraiser, which is our big deal for the year. It's December 4th. It's going to be at our quote unquote home, Capitol Grill, because they've been with us from the start. And we host our annual fundraiser December 4th, noon till 3 p.m. at the Capitol Grill in Paramus, New Jersey. And that's another one of our special things we do in our community, just to keep people together. And like I said, we're always looking for, what do we have in common? What is it that make women like hanging out? We're hosting a private screening for Wakanda Forever. We're celebrating everything that's magnificent and beautiful and powerful about the Black woman and about women in general. That will be on Thursday, November 17th, 7 p.m. at the AMC Riverside, Shops at Riverside. And just some of the things we do biannual retreats, we do private retreats that are curated for organizations, and they're boutique-y. So we're never more than 25 women going off, celebrating who we are, tapping into our being, and less about what we do. So at The Whole Woman, we really focus on women being, not our doing.
And your energy is so infectious. You can tell why you've been so successful with the show and the organization. I just love it. Where can people find out more information?
So we're easy to find. We are _Whole Woman on Instagram. And I'm telling you, our social media team does such a good job, because I barely know how to use Instagram. I feel hip saying IG, okay? We're on LinkedIn at The Whole Woman, and we're also on Facebook, The Whole Woman. So it's _Whole Woman for Instagram, but every place else, we're The Whole Woman.
I love it.
Fantastic.
Natalie B. McKenzie, thank you so much for joining us today. What a great energy you are, Kristina.
Yes.
Is correct. Thanks again.
And just a reminder, you can watch Living Life Authentically right here on New Jersey starting Monday, November 21st. Thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure and good luck. Congratulations. And I am happy to be part of the ONJ family.
Thank you. Yay. All right, guys. Boy, I can't wait to watch the show. It sounds like it's
it sounds
great.
amazing.
Absolutely. All right, coming up next on this show, we will give you a look at the new replacement buses coming to NJ Transit starting next year.
We'll also tell you more about the new grant for Sussex County Community College.
And don't forget, you can also find us on social media. Search for @NJ Morning Show, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and click follow.
2020 felt like a dark tunnel, and while 2020 is over, the impact is not. The pandemic affected both our physical and mental health.
We started the Cody Fund for Mental Health to change lives, so we want you to know about NJ211.
It's a referral service for anyone in crisis, even children.
I am living proof that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
And it's not a train, it's help. It's NJ211.
Right now, New Jersey's youth are dealing with a lot. Growing up today, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, but you're not alone. If you're worried about someone, reach out and point them to help if they need it. The New Jersey Department of Children and Families offers support to children and youth in crisis. Help is available by phone or text whenever you need it. Be there for a friend, and know where to turn for help. Suicide should never be the answer. Growing up can be hard. Getting help shouldn't be.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. Let's get another look at the forecast with meteorologist Mike Favetta. And we've got all the things in this weekend. The rain,
all the things,
the
rain,
sun.
some sun, some cold that's coming in, but it'll kind of make it feel like, the season is approaching because we are, less than 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving. So
It's crazy.
put it that way.
You
it's
hush your face.
Yeah.
flying
We are not
by.
ready.
Flying by. Can't wait to hear about the menu planning. That
Oh, it's already happening. You know it is.
Mhm. I'm sure.
More
So
than
as we
just
get
turkey.
into the cooler weather, some cooler, I guess, menus that are designed for cooler weather would be in offing, especially with all of the chill that arrives for early Sunday morning. We start off this weekend a bit rainy, and you see that rain outside right now. This is all the remnants of Nicole, which made landfall in Florida yesterday. Now, going into tomorrow morning, we start off a bit breezy with the wet weather, but the rain quickly exits and the clouds part for sunshine. By late morning, that brings in a gusty wind from the north and west, and that's why Saturday evening and all of Sunday is going to feel so much colder, with those temperatures in the 30s to start off each morning, Sunday morning and Monday. And that's the trend going forward. In the 2-week long-term outlook, we're still going to be below average. You see that shade of blue encompassing most of the country, so yes, there's some chilly weather on the way. Also wanted to update you on the drought situation, given that we've had quite a bit of rainfall, and more rain falling today, so the drought continues to improve, and none of New Jersey is in that moderate or severe drought. We're just abnormally dry. So that's some really good news considering how bad it was earlier this fall. Going into the rest of the weekend, as we start off tomorrow morning with a few leftover sprinkles, the sun quickly takes over, and that 68-degree high really happens early on because most of the evening drops off quickly and temperatures chilled out into the 30s. For Sunday morning, we're only in the 40s as a high for Monday, so a big change with all that chilly weather ahead going into next week. We'll let you know how long the cold weather lasts. That's coming up with a check of your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Yeah, all right, Mike. You know what? When you say how long the cold weather lasts, I'm like, it's got to get worse. It's not getting better at any point soon.
No, the days get shorter. The weather gets colder. You know how it is.
That's it. That's it.
Into
All right,
the winter
Mike.
days.
Yep.
Thanks again. We'll talk to you in a bit.
All right, let's get another check of your traffic. Don Smith, how are we looking?
Thank you, Kristina. Thank you, Cara. Good morning, Mike. Actually, fairly busy, a lot busier than what I was expecting here for this Veterans Day holiday. Let's get you over to the maps. We'll show you the incident page from our good friends over at DOT. So we've got a crash here in Newark. We showed you that in our last report about 15 minutes ago or so. West on 22 out by Weequahic Park. I'll put that on the map in a moment. Also, a disabled vehicle here on 3 West. Just before the Parkway in Clifton. And then 34 is shut going north there this morning. Just before 79, and then Route 3, it's really the service road. That's what's shut, not the main line. It's the service road is closed up until further notice. So first, let's go to the maps. We'll show you where the 34 situation is. I believe it's here just as you come in towards 70. Here's 79 and Broad Street. It looks like out by the Walgreens here this morning, north into Broad. So right in this area here, as we widen up slightly, as you see it a little larger. So that's what's closed. So just go with the posted detour to get past that. Let's go back here because I'm going to show you the Route 3. They actually do have it on camera as you get through the Clifton area. This is it here. We're just east of the Parkway. You see that right lane is shut. So just be mindful of that. Not really seeing that much in the way of a delay behind that. Let's widen it up. Since we're in Central Jersey, we'll take a look at the Parkway, 36, Turnpike, 33, 18, 35, 71. You know, temps are fairly mild or so. I've got 60 degrees here in Central Jersey now. The Turnpike is good. 195 is fine. All of South Jersey, 295, 55. The Turnpike, the Parkway, all is going to be in the clear. Now, let's slowly make our way up here. Go too fast with the maps. Central Jersey, Branchburg, Somerville through the Somerville traffic circle, 202, 206, 78. We are fine, 287, 206, 80 out towards Warren County. Again, traffic is fine. Roadways are still dry. In our next report, we'll do a little bit of a camera tour for you and show you some live pictures here coming up after 9:30 of some of the conditions. Both traffic and weather always go together. But here's the 22 situation here. Starting to grow a little bit more now, back to 19. So if you're coming out of the eastern sections of Newark out by Newark Liberty, you're better off going with westbound 78 instead of 22. It's going to be the easier ride, as this is really always a tough spot. There's really no shoulder, and it's just 2 lanes coming through that stretch. Outbound Skyway, we're seeing some delays here this morning, getting out to Raymond Boulevard. They're saying possibly some construction, but I'll take a look at that. I'm thinking a lot of the state construction is suspended because they're off as well for the holiday. But North Jersey also in the clear. Now, New Jersey Transit, Raritan Valley, still about a 20-minute delay getting out to Highbridge from the 9 o'clock train, or 8:56. So just be aware of that this morning. And path is on or close. And you can see all of our Hudson River crossings this morning are going to be in good shape, obviously because of the holiday. And again, if you're heading into the city for the parade at 11 o'clock, always the best bet to use mass transit. That's what's happening here in the traffic center at 9:23, in less than 15 minutes. Good little camera tour of the state. Cara, Kristina, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Don.
So as winter is about to set in, sometimes it's nice to enjoy a cozy night in. Joining us now is lifestyle expert Limor Suss to give us a look at everything you need for a cozy night at home. Good morning, Limor. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, it's so good to see you guys. Yeah, I know as the weather gets colder, I like to, hibernate at home. And if you're like me, I've got some great options for you.
Girl after my own heart. I love that you're in your jammies, because I was literally just thinking yesterday about how I cannot wait to cocoon in my house for the next 3 months.
Yeah,
Just
blanket over the head.
Yes.
Let's talk about coziness and cocktails. Do you have any cozy cocktails that would go well with this?
Oh, 100%. So you cannot have a cozy night in without something warm to sip on. So over here, I made a honey beet toddy with Tennessee honey whiskey and Beetology's beet lemon and ginger. If you're not familiar, this is a Beetology is a beet-based, 100% cold-pressed organic juice line. It's perfectly crafted and packed with flavor and nutrients. It's convenient. It's ready to drink and enjoy. It's less than 110 calories per bottle with no added sugar. So you just warm up the Beetology beet, lemon, and ginger. You put it into a glass. You add the honey whiskey. It's so good. And, this one is the beet, lemon, and ginger, but they have so many delicious flavors to make delicious warm cocktails with. There's the beet and berry, beet and cherry, beet and veggie, and beet and tropical fruit. They're all non-GMO. They're free of preservatives, artificial colors, and flavors. And you can get more recipes at Beetology.com, and you can find them at ShopRite, and select Stop and Shop.
Beets.
Oh.
Who knew?
Yeah, I've actually had that stuff before. It's very, very good. And as someone who doesn't actually, I don't enjoy eating beets,
No,
but
yeah.
I like the juices because they're nice and sweet and also super good for you in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Root vegetables, that's kind of where you want it to be
Yeah.
at.
100%.
Yeah.
So, Limor, then to go with our cocktail, do we have a little something sweet that we can indulge in?
Oh, 100%. So we all need a little something sweet. We all need a little me moment. The perfect way to get that was with the new Entenmann's cake truffles. They're available in chocolate delight and cookies and cream flavors. They're rich, bite-sized cakes that are covered with a decadent layer of silky smooth chocolatey coating, bringing you the ultimate lavish taste experience. They are so absolutely delicious. They're perfectly portioned. They come in a box of 8 cake truffles with 4 trays of 2 truffles, individually wrapped to ensure freshness. So whether you're looking for an afternoon snack, a late night treat, or a much needed break, you can celebrate every day with the new Entenmann's cake truffles, and you can find out where to purchase at entenmanns.com.
Love it. We're talking about, trying to make ourselves feel good. And a lot of that has to do with hair care, skin care. Is there a good hair treatment for when you have some downtime for your TLC?
Oh, 100%. So whenever I have some downtime, I like to, do like a face mask and, make sure that my hair gets a little bit of love from all the styling that I do all week long. So I love the Garnier Whole Blends Honey Treasures Miracle Nectar Leave-In Treatment. It's absolutely amazing. It's made with sustainably sourced ingredients such as honey, which are expertly blended to miraculously restore the look of healthy hair. It's a 10-in-1 treatment. So it moisturizes, it softens, it adds a silky shine, it improves detangling, it smooths flyaways, it repairs strength to prevent split ends, and it provides heat protection up to 450 degrees. It's also free of sulfates and parabens, mineral oil, dyes, and gluten. You can get it right at mass retailers in your drugstore. You can also find out more about it at GarnierUSA.com.
Nice.
I like it, Limor. That sounds good. I was gonna say the curls always need some sort of deep treatment conditioner
TLC.
weekly, literally. Otherwise,
Same.
they're just.
I know. It's like whenever I have some downtime, it's like face mask on,
Yeah, face
hair
mask,
mask
deep
in,
conditioner.
it's all,
Exactly. Park it. Hey, Limor, where can we find out more about you and everything else you got going on?
Sure. So you can visit lemore.tv to see this segment and so many others. You can also follow me on Instagram at lemorsus.
Love it. Limor, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on with us this morning.
Good to see you. I'll see you soon.
NJ Transit announced a $143 million plan to retire its oldest fleet of buses. The contract with Motor Coach Industries will pay for the final 172 new cruiser buses, bringing NJ Transit's total to 1,394 buses on the roads.
And they'll replace those set of buses that have been on the roads for the last 20 years. NJ Transit spokesman Jim Smith says the buses will be ready starting in the third quarter of next year. The bus replacement program began in the summer of 2015. Some of those original buses were made before the first iPhone, I read.
Wow.
So they're kind of old.
They're kind of old. It's time for them to retire.
And then they're upgrade, if you will. Well, speaking of upgrades, the First Energy Foundation is offering a $50,000 grant to Sussex County Community College to help provide needed equipment and supplies for career and technical education programs.
The college says material costs are rising because of inflation. For instance, fuels and precious metals needed for the welding program have become 50% more expensive. The grant will also offset a decrease in funding at the college. So, I mean, it's everywhere. It's permeating everything. And I don't know that there's a good answer.
But 50 grand is
But
nice.
50 grand is a nice help. Yes, that'll certainly help out a little bit. All right, guys, coming up, we're talking about the bear hunt, black bear sightings on the rise in the state and what's being done to keep people safe.
We'll also tell you about the Lincoln Tunnel's new cashless tolls.
And you can always find us over on social media. Head to or search for @NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter and click follow.
Right now, families all across New Jersey are struggling with hunger, and their financial futures remain uncertain. You can be the hope for our hungry neighbors in need in a time when that need is still so great. The Community Food Bank of New Jersey, the state's largest anti-hunger, anti-poverty organization, is filling the emptiness caused by hunger with food, help, and hope. Go to cfbnj.org now to join us.
The New Jersey Hall of Fame is coming to you, celebrating our best and brightest, greeting guests along our Garden State Parkway through its 9 service areas. engaging travelers from our terminals to our transit centers, inspiring new generations as we move from town to town, and at New Jersey's hottest red carpet ceremony, inspiring New Jerseyans at our new home at American Dream. It's the New Jersey Hall of Fame, and it's where you want to be because everyone needs a hero.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. Let's check back in at the Weather Center with meteorologist Mike Favetta. Hey, Mike.
Hey, it's definitely time for more espresso. It's that time of the day.
Always time for
Second
more espresso.
cup. Got to stay warm with the cold weather that's coming.
Oh, man.
Maybe if hot cocoa is your thing, or this dirty chai is very popular now. You mix the tea and the coffee together. I don't know. It's like a thing. Anyway, whatever it takes to keep you warm, because with the holiday beverages quickly approaching, as is the cold weather, you'll feel it come tomorrow. Today, with temperatures holding in the 60s, not all that bad. It's just raw thanks to the rain. Well, the rain that's around today lasts into early tomorrow morning, but wraps up quickly, meaning we see sunshine by Saturday afternoon. So from Morristown to Newark and Belmar, highs on Saturday will be in the upper 60s, but that happens early on in the day, because with temperatures falling throughout the day tomorrow, we bottom out in the 30s on Sunday morning. So the right side are the temperatures for Sunday, and with highs only going to 50 in Trenton and 53 in Belmar, it's going to feel chilly across New Jersey. Gets even colder in the next few days, with the 7-day forecast pointing to highs in the 40s on Monday and Tuesday. A little bit of that blustery feel rolling across New Jersey. Our next chance of rain isn't until Wednesday, so there are several days of nice, dry, sunny afternoons, but it'll feel quite chilly. This temperature is actually running a few degrees below average. So think of how warm and even humid it was last week, and then we go into next week on the flip side, about 10 degrees below average. But going into next week, I think we hover right below that normal high, which should be in the mid-50s. So looks to be chilly to start off Thanksgiving week. And can't believe you're saying it already, looking ahead into what will be a chilly finish to the month of November.
Right about average.
Yeah. I still can't believe it's almost Thanksgiving.
Crazy.
Around the corner.
Oh, man. All right, Mike, thanks so much. We'll check back in with you in a little bit.
Don Smith is back with another update on the traffic.
Thanks, Behr. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Mike. Let's get you right over to the maps here this morning, because it's fairly active here on this Veterans Day holiday, and we thank all of our veterans who have served and are still serving for their service. So we'll start off on 22 in Newark. We've got a crash here going west out by Weequahic Park. A broken down vehicle still being cleared going west on Route 3 just before the Parkway. Also, 34 is still shut going north into 79 there in Aberdeen, so watch for that. And also Route 3, the service road is still shut there in Secaucus because of a down utility pole from an early morning crash happened about 5:30 or so this morning. So let's go towards the maps first before we get to the cameras. There is some road work here on the outbound Skyway just as you come in towards Raymond Boulevard here out of South Kearney, taking out a lane. So just be careful. It can run you a couple minutes of extra travel time. You don't want to sit in any kind of traffic. You can stay with truck routes 1 and 9 coming out of Hoboken and Jersey City. Let's show you the westbound Route 22 issue. There it is out through Weequahic Park, and it's always a tough spot to clear up an accident through that stretch of 22 because it's only 2 lanes. There's no shoulders and so forth. So just stay with Route 78 instead through the city of Newark. As we widen up the North Jersey map, you can see it is really quiet out here. Oakland, Ringwood, Paramus, Franklin Lakes, Wayne, Nutley, Clifton, Patterson, Hackensack, all the way out through Morris County, 15. Let's get through the Jefferson area this morning. That is going to be moving just fine all the way out through Berkshire Valley on the approach on into Oak Ridge into 23 here and up towards Newfoundland. So again, traffic is great all the way up to the northwest section of our Great Garden State. Let's continue out to 78. Westbound is good out through the Clinton area, Central Jersey, Turnpike Parkway. Again, it is moving fine. Let me just show you the 34 situation here on the map. And this is, again, as you come into 79 with a water main break, looks like it's out between Main Street, Broad Street, as you get out to the Walgreens there in Aberdeen. So a couple of extra minutes there going to be needed. Again, the rest of South Jersey is going to be looking good. Now, let's go to the cameras. I said we'll take a little camera tour. I'm going to start it off on the Parkway because I'm going to take you down into the Wildwood area. And let me just bring up the map here a little bit. You can see here that starting to see some light showers now populating out towards the Cape May tolls. Camera is starting to get just a little bit wet for us now here at 9:35. This is through the Cape May toll plaza. But as you progress further up to the north, out through the Barnegat tolls, we're dry still, but it's slowly coming into play there into the Cape May area. Let's go to the Delaware Memorial Bridge. Starting to see some gray clouds now starting to populate. Maybe a couple light raindrops here coming out towards interchange 1. It was really out towards interchange 7, I believe. It's starting to see some wet conditions there. And then north of that, also starting to see some light rain starting to fall here in this section of Mercer County. So again, it's slowly coming up from that south and west in towards the state. So roadways, some of this can be a little tough because there's leaves down on the road and also just a little bit of moisture on the road. Doesn't take a whole lot for you to lose the contact from the rubber meets the road, as they say, because oil and water don't mix. So again, just be careful with this little bit of light showers. It'd almost be better if it was heavier rain and would wash a lot of the stuff off the roadway. But again, just something to keep in mind. Now, transit being the holiday, we're on or close to schedule, still about 15 to 20 on the Bratton Valley line. Again, because of some earlier equipment issues, and they're on a regular weekday schedule, not a holiday schedule. And PATH is also looking good. You can see our Hudson River crossings are under 10 minutes. That's happening here in the traffic center, 9:36. We'll be back in less than 15 minutes. Last and final check for the week of your morning ride. Cara, Kristina, send it back to you.
All right. Thanks, Don.
Speaking of traffic, if you're trying to cross into New Jersey through the Lincoln Tunnel, get ready for cashless tolling.
Yeah, starting December 11th, cash tolls will no longer be operating on either side of the Lincoln Tunnel, joining the GWB as the last Hudson River crossing to go cashless. Port Authority Chairman Kevin O'Toole said that the new cashless technology will improve daily commutes. Allegedly, other cashless bridges in places like Bayonne have seen as much as a 70% decrease in car accidents after switching to those cashless tolls. So maybe it will help with some of the volume. We shall see. It's the rubbernecking into the tunnel.
It's the bottlenecking and the yeah. But I do think, and it's interesting to see because I find that I guess they're a little more strict in New York at the speed at which you go through an easy pass lane, because I find the New Yorkers really slow it down to like that.
Stop.
Yeah, that I'm like the purpose of the easy pass was you kept moving.
Yeah, just keep it moving.
Just keep going.
They're gonna bill you either way,
one way or the other. They got you. Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see.
Another thing that I feel like is very stereotypically New Jersey. Black bear sightings.
Yeah.
They've been on the rise in our state, and bear hunters could possibly help protect the state's ecosystem and keep people safe.
Here now to tell us more is Hunter Scott Costine. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, ladies.
So, Scott, just briefly tell us how you got into bear hunting in general.
Well, it was an extension of a lifelong pursuit. My father introduced me to hunting when I was a very young man, and I've been hunting for 40 years.
Wow.
And just in the last 20 or so, we've seen an invasion of black bear from Pennsylvania and from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to 1990, we really didn't have bear in New Jersey. And the last bear hunt prior to that was 1969. Wow. So when I hear people talking about how we're taking over their space, that is an outright lie. They are invading New Jersey, and they're doing so by the thousands every year. And I think we have a crisis already.
Yeah. So, Scott, just very recently, NJ.com said that Governor Murphy is actually expected to reinstate the bear hunt in New Jersey. What are your feelings on that then?
Well, I think it's long overdue and absolutely critical, because if he doesn't take action immediately, we are likely to see the population grow to a point where the hunters cannot control them any longer.
Mm-hmm. What are some common misconceptions about bear hunting?
Well, first of all, black bear is not an endangered species.
Mm-hmm.
It never was. There are over 1 million black bear in North America. And for us to think, or for anyone to say that they're a species that need to be protected, that's an outright lie.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What else?
Population here that's growing at exponential pace. We're seeing 3 to 6 cubs per litter, and a bear has a litter every 2 years.
Mm.
So here's the issue that we have here in New Jersey. The DFW, the Division of Fish and Wildlife, has officially stated that there are 3,182 bear in New Jersey. That's as of 2020.
Wow.
I find that is a very dubious number because I've been tracking these going back to the first bear hunt in 2003. And I can promise you that the state had over 5,000 black bear back in 2005.
Mm.
So if the DFW suggests that there are only 3,000 bear in New Jersey now, I think that number needs to be challenged because I suspect that that's the number of tagged bear that they had in New Jersey. And if that's true, then the real number is triple that. So if we had 9,000 bear in 2020 and they have 3 cubs every 2 years, that means that by next spring, we could have as many as 25,000 bear here in New Jersey. And that's a problem because in order to keep a population stable, hunters have to harvest 16% of the herd every year. If by next year there are 25,000 bear in New Jersey, we would have to take 4,000 bear annually. Here's the problem with that. The last bear hunt that we had, because of all the restrictions and all the short windows that we had to hunt with, we only took 400. If we have to take 4,000 a year, that means that the state will be paying for that service. Can you imagine how much it would cost to have a black bear that weighs 800 pounds removed from our state forests every year? $25 million annually.
Wow.
I'm pretty confident the state of New Jersey will be paying that out of their tax pockets.
Yeah.
So yes, I think it's a little overdue. We should have had that bear hunt 3 years ago, and it never should have stopped.
Wait, I'm just thinking because even on my commute here, which is maybe 10 miles, I must pass 4 or 5 deer carcass in the roads.
Yeah.
How come we're not seeing, if the bear population is so high as you're anticipating, how come we're not running into them in the same way that we hit the deer on the roadways?
Well, because there are 125,000 deer in New Jersey.
Oh, wow. Okay. So is there a vast difference in the population?
And this period of time during the year in mid-November is when their rut is on. So the bucks are chasing the does. They chase the does onto the streets where they get hit by the cars.
Okay.
There's no such thing going on with the bear. However, here's the problem. We are hitting bear on the highways. The biggest bear we hit was something like 800 pounds.
Jeez.
By the way, the world record black bear was taken here in Morristown 2 years ago by Jeff Melillo.
Wow.
One thing that people don't understand, here in New Jersey, they are dumpster divers. They eat Dunkin' Donuts. They don't have a mortality rate, and they grow well beyond their normal size. Nationally, they weigh about 250 pounds on average. Here in New Jersey, we commonly take 800-pound black bear. Now, I can promise you, if you've ever seen one, and I'm sure you haven't, you don't want this creature in your backyard.
No, I have to tell you, Scott, I grew up in Morris County, northwestern Morris County, and I have seen one in my backyard, and they are massive.
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
really are.
Cars are Volkswagens, and here's the problem, ladies. When they get over 300 pounds, they can no longer consume enough plant matter to sustain their own weight.
Yeah.
This is when they become predatory.
Yeah.
And I start attacking farm animals. I got videos of pigs being attacked. Clyde, the alpaca was taken out a couple years ago. They're killing horses, pets, and yes, there has been a fatality in New Jersey.
Yes.
It happened back in 2014, and I predict it won't be the last.
Right. We just saw a story. It was in a well-populated area of a bear in a tree. They had to tranquilize. I want to say it was Perth Amboy or around that area in Middlesex County.
Yeah.
We're seeing more and more stories of people just seeing these bears, even while hiking as well. What is your advice on folks that do like to enjoy going for hikes and going in the outdoors if they do see a bear?
Well, unfortunately, you're not permitted to carry sidearms. Even as a hunter, you're not allowed to carry a sidearm into the field. People are told that they should carry bear spray. Okay, that's worth a try, but as far as I'm concerned, that's just seasoning for the bear. When I look at people ringing bells and rattling their chains and keys, that is absolute lunacy. The fact is that a bear can outrun you, it can outclimb you, and if it decides to eat you, you are food. So what I would say is that if you are going to go into the woods, the best protection that you could possibly have would be about a 7-foot hickory stick with a sharp end, because without a spear, a human has no chance against a bear if it should become aggressive.
Okay.
Okay. So, Scott, you also happen to have a book out. Can you just briefly tell us a little bit about that?
I do. It's actually recently published, called The Hunter's Eye. This is a memoir of my 40 years of hunting, 26 of my most memorable hunts. I've also included a number of wild game recipes here, which converts the game into finest table fare, and put a little piece of my soul in this. If you'd like to know something about the hunting tradition, read this. It'll be like a download from the Matrix.
I like it. I like that you included recipes. Kristina and I were just talking about that. I'm a big foodie and a cook as well, and I think I think that's a very critical element of hunting, is to then be able to
recycle,
turn that into something you can use, and
nothing
not
goes to waste.
Out of it.
Yeah. Where can people find more information?
I'm sorry, you find it on Amazon.com, right?
Okay.
And it's available in Kindle format, hard copy, and of course the soft cover. But I would like to show you ladies one thing, if I may, before we leave. This is, I don't know if you can see that, but this is what the trend of bear population growth. This is right off the DFW's website.
Oh, wow.
This is 1995, where you see them crossing across the Delaware and down from New York. This is by 2000, where they've penetrated all the way down to Cape May. This is by 2008. This is what we look at in 2014. They are literally in every county of New Jersey right now. And as of the most recent read, this is what the bear range is in New Jersey today. They are everywhere, and they are growing at a fast pace. And if we don't have a bear hunt, which is the only way to mitigate their population, well, then there's going to be a significant expense to the taxpayer, and there'll be a greater risk to the general population. So if Murphy is finally coming around to realizing that he should have followed the DFW's advice in the first place, I'm delighted to hear it, and I will be in the field.
All right, Scott Costine, thank you so much for coming on this morning and sharing some insight into something that's definitely a controversial subject for a lot of folks. And we appreciate your view on all of this and your information. Thank you again.
My pleasure, ladies. You have a good day.
You have a great weekend. Thank you. All right, guys, coming up next, the world's largest dreidel has arrived in New Jersey.
Yes, and we'll tell you about some of the holiday light shows coming to New Jersey this season.
And you can always find this show over on social media. Search for @NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Click follow.
2020 felt like a dark tunnel, and while 2020 is over, the impact is not. The pandemic affected both our physical and mental health.
We started the Cody Fund for Mental Health to change lives, so we want you to know about NJ211.
It's a referral service for anyone in crisis, even children.
I'm living proof that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
And it's not a train, it's help. It's NJ211.
Right now, New Jersey's youth are dealing with a lot. Growing up today, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, but you're not alone. If you're worried about someone, reach out and point them to help if they need it. The New Jersey Department of Children and Families offers support to children and youth in crisis. Help is available by phone or text whenever you need it. Be there for a friend, and know where to turn for help. Suicide should never be the answer. Growing up can be hard. Getting help shouldn't be.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. We've got one last look at that weekend forecast with meteorologist Mike Favetta, and it's here. It's fall. It's almost Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be
Can
seasonal.
we put up Christmas decorations?
No. No.
Well, I'd wait till after the wind. Wait till after the wind, and then by Sunday, it'll feel festive enough.
I'll do littles.
It's not really putting up the lights until the end of your fingers feel numb and frozen from being so cold. That will happen on Sunday.
One holiday at a time. November gets Thanksgiving. December gets Christmas.
She sounds like my husband.
But as we head into the end of the month, there is some colder weather on the way, and we experience it as soon as Sunday. It starts to get really chilly later on Saturday night as the remnant rains of Nicole pull away. So the wet weather today lasts until early tomorrow morning. We're done with the rain by noon. In fact, we clear out nicely for some sunshine on Saturday afternoon, but those cold, blustery winds will blow, bringing in some chilly weather around through Tuesday. Highs stay in the 40s right until Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday's another chilly start down in the low 40s, maybe some upper 30s north and west, and there's a little chance of a sprinkle with some cold weather to follow even beyond that. So chilly weather, it looks like it's here to stay for at least the next 2 weeks. None of these mild, humid days like we had last week, but I think going into next week, it'll feel more like the holidays are around the corner.
Feels like it, yeah. I mean, once you're there weather-wise, I feel like everybody will get into the spirit.
Everyone gets into it. Yeah, no, for sure.
Mariah Carey can come on out.
I
Defrost.
was going to say she's thawing as we speak. Yes. Mike, you were mentioning menus. Are you guys planning your Thanksgiving menu yet?
No, we didn't get there yet.
No. All right, better question. Do you do Italian Thanksgiving or more traditional American Thanksgiving?
There's a lasagna and manicotti. So.
There's Italian Thanksgiving. Yeah. Thank you, my friend, keeping the traditions alive. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week.
See, I don't have the patience for all that. So it's just like, because usually I'm working. So it's like, all right, fine, we'll have some sweet potatoes, whatever. And it's like, I gotta go to work anyway. So it's like less dishes to do. All right, let's get one more look at the traffic with John Smith.
Thank you, Behr. Good morning, Mike, and good morning, Cara. Let's get you over to the maps here this morning. Fairly active late morning, mid-morning, we'll call it here on this holiday. We've got 22 now westbound out by Meeker Avenue, which is out by Weequahic Park, still working a crash. And then 34 north at 79 in Aberdeen, that is still shut down. It looks to me like the Route 3 situation has cleared up. Let's go to the cameras. I just want to give you the freshest look at that. It was the service road that was shut as you came into Secaucus coming off the Hackensack River Bridge. And yes, that indeed has cleared up here. So you now have access to the southbound eastern spur of the turnpike. And that had been out there for, well, probably the better part of 3.5 hours or so with an investigation and a down utility pole. So hopefully those, if anyone was injured, is okay. But I think it was really more closed for the utility pole being down across the service road than anything else. Let's go to the maps now, and we'll dial in this westbound 22 crash here, getting west out through Weequahic Park. You're better off with 78 instead, coming just west of 19. We also have some outbound Skyway construction to contend with as you get out towards Raymond Boulevard, so watch for that. That's heading southbound or outbound, as we call it in the traffic biz. North Jersey, again, the rest of the state is fine. There really is not a whole lot of action here this morning in Turnpike, Route 118, just some mild congestion through some of the shopping centers and so forth. The Parkway, Turnpike 195 is good. Route 9 in Lakewood is a little busy. Parkway through Toms River, Seaside Heights, all is good, even in Cherry Hill, Morristown, Cinnaminson, 73, 70, 295, 55, 42. We're fine. Atlantic City, Somers Point. Starting to see some rain bringing down things in towards the Cape May area. I want to quickly go down to Route 9. We'll show you that. This is at 109 here. This is about as far south as you can get. Roadways are slightly damp here this morning, but it's really going to be the turnpike where we saw some showers. Let me just bring that into the conversation, shall we? It was by interchange 7, or just north of that is where things are actually starting to dry up just a bit. We actually saw some showers. We're starting to see some dark clouds here off to the west. So if you're heading into Pennsylvania, it could be a little more soggy, but again, the rain is inbound. Transit is on or close to schedule, friends. Still about 20 miles. Actually, Mountain Valley just went back to on time, and they're on a regular weekday schedule, so there's no holidays special schedules for Veterans Day today. Path is on or close, and you can tell it's a holiday because the Hudson River crossings are going to be empty. Well, that's what's happening here in the traffic center. Again, get out, honor your vets here today. We thank all that have served and those who are still serving. Have a fantastic Friday and a great weekend. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Done. Well, back to the holidays, right? The world's largest dreidel Now on display at the Allaire Community Farm in Wall, the 30-foot tall dreidel is part of the farm's Christmas light spectacular. So cool. The proceeds from the light show will go towards the farm, which is a nonprofit animal rescue that supports special needs children, at-risk teens, and veterans suffering from PTSD.
There's like all the right reasons to go have
Yes.
some fun. It will be eligible for official recognition as a world record too, which is currently held by a 25-foot tall dreidel in Florida.
That
So we
is so
definitely need to
cool.
be Florida.
Yes.
And I was gonna say, that's just fantastic. I have to get out to all these things.
Me
We cover
too.
so many great events, and it's
Yeah.
like, I don't have enough time
Especially
to
with
do
Allaire
all the
too.
things.
They do a great thing
They
every
do
year.
wonderful
And
work,
it gives
yeah.
back. I mean, that farm is just special.
Absolutely. So with the holiday season fast approaching, we really can't get over it. Please make it
know.
stop. One new activity that is gaining traction are light shows. So the light shows started to become more popular in 2020 when families were looking for safe options amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
I know since COVID, light shows became bigger and bigger and drive-throughs, and now there's just like a ton of light shows. And they're all over the state and around the state. We love the Magic of Lights in Homedale, PNC Bank Art Center. You can drive through. There's like a life-size Barbie and monster trucks all lit up. It's perfect for all ages.
Yeah, and in addition to the PNC Bank Art Center, there are other venues hosting light shows this holiday season, include Skyline Stadium in Augusta. They do that big Halloween one too. There.
I don't know if they do it still. Great Adventure
Yes.
used to do a wonderful light show. And I feel like for me, that was one of the first that I heard of because they'd been doing it for years, even before. But it is just such a great thing because I mean, we as little kids used to drive around and look at the holiday lights in the neighborhood. I feel like people don't do that anymore.
We would walk too. We would walk depending on how close we were to the neighbors. But like, same thing. We would just like get in the car in our pajamas and drive
something
around.
to see, and
Yeah.
it's nice to do. You know, you
fun.
put the all Christmas music
Yep.
station on the radio, and I'm
So
that
much
old.
fun.
Anyways,
It's coming. It's coming.
it's coming. Get ready. You're
Well,
ready.
I'm ready. I'm slowly. I admittedly though, last year after Halloween, it was immediate, and this year wasn't so much. And I think probably the weather played a factor, but also it's like that time feeling where you're just like, you know, you're speeding up time, and it's like, no, slow down. We want to like enjoy.
I feel like we so wanted out of the pandemic, and like now we're
Yeah.
kind of like we just want to cherish
Just,
these
like,
moments that we finally are getting back.
pause. Yeah.
absolutely.
So, but little by little,
There you
I'll
go.
do it. All right. Thanks so much for watching this Friday. I'm Kristina Behr.
And I'm Cara Falco. We will see you right back here on New Jersey next Thursday live at 9 a.m. Have an amazing weekend.